It is a next day to me. Yesterday, as you just watched, we put some penetrating fluid, oil, whatever it is, inside the engine. I put the charger or battery on the charger, and let me see if you can hear what kind of sounds the battery makes now. I'm not sure if you can hear it on the camera. It's like boiling. So probably there is the chance the battery is not good. But regardless, I'm continue playing. Maybe, who knows, it's gonna be good enough at least to try to crank the engine. Let me remove this and let's see if we can do some cranking action. Nope. Oh no, it ceased totally. Totally locked. So the trick didn't work as I was expecting. Nope. Dead. Oh, hold on. Hold on. By the way, interesting. You know, what if the connecting rod is broken? Yep. Most likely it's... no. Or yes. No. Hold a second, guys. Hey, we are onto something. Strange sound. And let me replace the breaker bar with the ratchet. I'm not sure if it's gonna be, or I gonna be strong enough to use the ratchet right now. Yeah. Okay. Yep. It spins now. Alright, the engine spins now. Now we know that engine turns over, which is good news. So there are two things on my list of operations or orders for this particular engine. I don't know for sure if there is the water in, and in order to find out that, I'm gonna use the vacuum oil extraction tool. Actually, I need to empty it first. It's the old oil from the other car. And the second thing, I need to remove the intake because if there is the water in, and most likely there should be the water in, it's gonna suck in again in the engine, which is not good. So we're gonna need to pretty much empty the intake of any of the stagnant water, and then after we confirm there is no water in the engine, in the oil and there is no water in the intake, then we can crank it. Then we can install the spark plugs. I'm not sure if the old spark plugs are any good, but you know, we have nothing to lose. We can try them out anyway, and then we'll proceed with the startup, or with the cranking at least. I know the starter wants to or tries to crank the engine when the key is on, but you know, the engine was locked, so the starter was just clicking. So yeah, let me drain the old oil from this thing, and we'll suck some oil out from this engine and see if there is the water in the bottom of the oil pan, because always the water is gonna be in the bottom, the oil is gonna be on the top. I just installed this clear, or somewhat clear, hose, and let me try to, and let's see what's gonna come from the bottom of the engine, if anything. I mean, there. So actually, this looks like an oil. If it had water, the water would be first, but this travels like an oil, so I'm not really sure where the water from the pistons, or from the cylinders, I would say, went to, but that's definitely an oil. If you want to see how the water looks like coming from the engine, you can find my old video about CLK350, the 8-cylinder engine, where I extracted 6 liters of water from it. Yeah, that's definitely not water. That's the oil, and it's not like a milkshake. It's like, you know, black old oil. So I guess we can actually skip the water extraction procedure and turn ourselves to the intake removal. Like millions of videos showing how to remove the intake from M272 engine. It's a process, nothing too crazy about it, but I'm gonna put it on a time lapse. But before that, I would like to spray some air just to remove the debris from the areas where it can get into the intake ports, and from that we'll remove it. And I'll try to refresh my mind how I did it last time. It was like a long time ago, but yeah, follow along, guys. I'm not sure if you were able to see anything at all, but I got the intake out. Yeah, it's easier to remove the supercharger from my S4 than this intake. Slightly cumbersome. I'm gonna probably need 2 hands to get it from the car. When I was removing the intake, it spilled all that water from inside, and let's translate it into here. I'm not sure what's the best way to show you, but it's quite nasty. Can I block it somehow? It's good that we removed the intake. Whew. Oh my god, that smell. It's not good. Some oily stuff I would like to remove from my driveway. I am okay with water, but the oil, not so much. Let's check it out. Okay, those this is broken like always, so it needs the repair kit for this triangle piece, whatever it calls. You can purchase the metal one, you can purchase the plastic one, but regardless, it needs to be fixed, otherwise it's gonna throw the code. I guess this is for the cold start application, like emissions and stuff, and so yeah, anyway, we needed to remove this intake regardless, at least to replace this like a lever. And it's always like that. Okay, so this intake gonna need some work on it, or maybe disposal. And the other thing is, I have the replacement intake. What a surprise. I found the replacement intake. I transplanted the throttle body from the intake we just removed into this replacement intake. It looks gross, but I cleaned it as much as I possibly could. This intake, as you see, comes with the fuel rail already, so which looks like, which means I didn't need to remove the fuel rail from the intake we just removed. I could just unscrew the intake pipe, and the fuel pipe, and that's it. So I'm gonna install this intake with this fuel rail already installed. I'm gonna use the old gaskets because it's a test, it's a budget, and you know how it goes. I have slight change of plans, and as you can see, I got 3 intakes right there, and the reason is the intake I showed you that I have in stock. I broke the plastic kind of nipple for the vacuum hose. I was yanking the rubber vacuum hose out from the from this nipple, and this plastic nipple broke. So I brought one more from my storage, I would say. No, I'm not hoarding at all. So yes, number 3 intake gonna go here. All right, stay tuned. And I cleaned the kind of mating surfaces on both sides. You can see they're shiny now, so I'll try to revert the whole process you watched a few moments ago. So yeah, let's keep doing it. At first sight, it looks like I connected, if not all, but most of the parts. And what do you think, guys, if we'll try to measure the compression while the plugs are out? Or actually, before doing that, let's crank the engine. I'm gonna remove the fuse for the fuel pump or relay, whatever it is in this car, I don't know, and we'll slightly crank the engine. Then we're gonna measure the compression and we'll see if it's alive or not. I removed the fuse for the fuel pump. The spark plugs are out, and let's see if this battery charged something overnight or not. And multiple tests. Okay, looks like it's spinning. The battery does something. Let me find the compression test kit. I'm not sure how accurate is this Harbor Freight compressor tester, but we'll find out in a moment, or at least we're gonna see what this shows us. Zero. I didn't see. Okay, let's check out the other cylinder. I'm not sure if I can trust this Harbor Freight unit, but we'll see in a moment. And regardless, we're gonna attempt to start the car maybe on 5 or 4 cylinders. It's gonna be at least entertaining. Okay, guys. Was it like 10? I don't know. I pressed the button, but it was like just over 0. Okay, let's measure this. Maybe it's the bad seal on the gauge. I don't know. Oh, like 0, 10, I don't know, 5. Okay, let's check the other bank. Interesting if the pistons are moving at all there. I would like to see. Like 15. Oh, that's 60 on this one. That's something new. Also, the battery is barely alive. Okay, let's do this one. Like almost nothing in here. Okay. And again, I'm not sure if the gauge is trustful or not. Let's put the spark plugs back. I have only 50 seconds left on my SD card on the camera, so I hooked up this fresh battery and let's attempt to crank it. There is no any possible way for it to start with such a compression, and I already put the the fuse. Oh, and it locked. You know, guys, what it is? It's most likely a bad rod. So yeah, it was fairly short test. Guys, we're looking at the first cylinder